Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As we talk the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program, and you understand why if you listen to the first segment. In about 10 to 12 minutes, Ron Wong explained everything there is about fishing in the Mid-South. I mean, he was throwing them baits around like he had a package in front of him there. So that's the information you're going to get. Ron, I appreciate your input on this show, and I'm going to get some input right now. A lot of us, I hunted on yesterday morning. I have hunted several times. No, I have not killed a deer yet, but I'm still hunting.
Yes, I'm waiting.
I know you are. A lot of people are waiting, including my wife. You know, but we are killing deer. We are killing deer, and this is an unusual time with COVID-19. But not only that, but before all that struck, we were dealing with another thing in the deer world: chronic wasting disease, CWD. And we're always happy to get Jeremy Dennison on with us. He is the Region 1 CWD field coordinator. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Mr. Larry. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to. Jeremy is a man of numbers. Okay, I don't know. You're not Jeremy Dennison the fourth, are you, or anything like that? So.
No, I'm the very first one.
All right, but you got numbers, and I kind of touched on that a little bit on last week's show, Jeremy, as we talked deer hunting, and we know that the season is underway, particularly with the liberal bag limits in Unit CWD. In our 11 counties in West Tennessee. So through Thursday, tell us how many deer statewide have we killed?
So statewide through Thursday, a little over 118,000.
Wow.
And so that's up.
That's
up 21% from last year this same time. And to take a bigger look, it's up from the 5-year average about 7%. So
wow,
we like to look not just from year to year, but look at more of a trend.
Yeah.
And we'd assumed, like you said before, alluded to the COVID situation, and we thought maybe that the deer harvest might kind of mirror the turkey harvest that we experienced in the spring, with more people being out, more people doing things outside, and worries about food shortages and things of that nature. So I found some license figures as well. Right now we have a little over 180,000 big game license holders as of today.
Okay.
Last year that was about 165,000. So that's up.
That's up 15,000. Yeah. So even I can figure that out without taking my shoe off. You know,
that's right.
Mean, that's so. We're looking
when you add in all the others, we have well over 300,000 licensed deer hunters in the state right now. So licensed sales and just overall, folks, deer hunting is up.
Well, I don't have to go very far, and Ron knows this. My man Dave Payne of Dave's Deer Processing there in Mason, Tennessee, has been slammed. I mean, he's had to shut down at least 2 times. And then he had to make a quota that he could only take 25 by noon. So, and Dave has got more equipment this year. He's got a bigger cooler this year. And, folks, he's still the best to take it to. But I'm just telling, as Jeremy explains this, that this is an upward trend. I don't know what the record is, Jeremy. 160 or something? I'm not really sure off the top of my head. Most we've ever killed in the state of Tennessee.
I'm not sure either off the top of my head. I wish I had that figure.
But we're on a pace. I got to be on a pace to be one of the biggest ever. I mean, we can say that.
And as of last year's results, in the 11 county unit CWD, the harvest was down, especially with antlerless harvest. So it was down about 30%. And so we've kind of made up some ground there, which is really good for CWD management. The unit CWD harvest is almost 13,000 deer, which is up 33% from last year.
Goodness gracious! Okay.
Wow! Yeah,
and that's what you want, Jeremy. You're asking for this, right? I mean, because you got to find.
We are, and we thank hunters for continuing to hunt. They're not only providing samples and information on the distribution of the disease and the prevalence, But increased harvest is one way. The only real way that we have to affect any change or have any type of management impact on the spread and the transmission. So hunters have really stepped up and really helped out as far as that goes.
What numbers? The last time we talked, do you have close to how many numbers you've got on CWD positives in the 11?
Sure.
Yeah. What are we looking at there?
Yeah. So as of today, we've had 179 positives in 2020 so far, which is a little bit lower than we had last year. But it's important to note that there's a lot of pending samples. And that number is likely to increase here over the next few weeks.
I mean, we got
here in.
Yeah, go ahead, because I know we had over 3,000 had been tested or whatever it was. We have a pretty broad number that we don't know the results from yet, right?
Yes, yeah. Here and I say we. I work in Region 1.
Yes,
we have shipped 11,000 samples off to be tested to date.
11,000. That's great.
The rest of the states they've tested about 3,000, so about 14,000 deer statewide have been tested.
That's amazing.
And the turnaround times have been pretty good. Average turnaround time for CSU is about 10 days from the time that they get the sample. So we're hoping that stays, pretty quick. So
that's Colorado State University. If you want to know what
yes, sir.
CSU, it's not CVA. We're not taking it to CVS. I mean the drugstore dropping off or anything like that. It is Colorado State University. And again, we're talking to Jeremy Dennison on Outdoors with Larry Ray. He is the chronic wasting disease field coordinator for Region 1, and I know. Do we worry about killing too many deer? I mean, from your standpoint as a biologist, Jeremy, can our herd take this punch?
I don't think so. Especially when we talk about the decline in harvest from last year. I think we're catching up, and
yes.
I think some of those areas the density could stand to be lower, especially when we're talking about managing for a disease that's transmissible. So
yeah,
we're the more deer we harvest, that's less deer that can actually transmit that disease and move it to other parts of the state. So
we're not looking at any additional counties yet. Jeremy, you stay pretty well.
No, sir.
We got our 11 counties. I don't know if you have those in front of you. Maybe our folks out there may not know which 11 counties we're talking about. I don't have them with me.
Sure. It's Shelby, Tipton, Haywood, Fayette, Hardeman, McNary, Chester, Madison, and Gibson, and Crockett.
And those are really good deer places. And I know my listeners in Jackson and Madison County, and the listeners in Fayette County, Hardeman County, I've seen figures where all of those counties are producing more deer. I mean, there's more deer being checked in, and it gives you an idea that people are out there. You just talked about X number of licensings, 15,000 more. That's money for the agency. I mean, that's revenue, right? This is
absolutely. Absolutely it is.
This is a big, folks. You may not realize, and I know Ron does. I know fishing brings in X number of dollars. Deer hunting, and I started on November the 7th, which sounds, I don't bow hunt, so I could have started back in September, but it is a huge economic impact on our area, right, Jeremy?
Well, absolutely. But
absolutely.
My question is, do we have any numbers about?
Hold on, Ron. Ron's got a question for me, Jeremy. What you saying, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Do we have any numbers about how many youth are getting into deer hunting? It's on the fishing side. There's quite a few youth getting involved over this past year, but what about deer hunting?
Yes, sir. I don't have any specific numbers, but I do know that there's a lot of emphasis with our agency on getting
the youth
hunters.
The youth hunt,
both new youth and folks who previously hunted, but they've kind of fell off. Kind of reactivating those folks.
Yeah,
so that's definitely a huge part.
And I know our youth hunt was successful. I'm seeing pictures of kids that are 8 years old that it's like throwing a no-hitter your first time you're going deer hunting, you know. I mean, they're killing.
That's right.
They're killing monster bucks. And one thing I noticed, Jeremy, and you probably agree to this, people in other states see what we're doing and say, hey, we want to come down there. So even our out-of-state license, I think, can increase during this, whether it's a youth license or whatever it might be. But and we've got time. I mean, I keep saying, well, I hadn't killed a deer, so we only got 2 minutes to talk to you, so we don't really have a lot of time. But the season goes through the 3rd, and then we have, our antlerless hunt after that, Jeremy? I mean,
That's right.
Yeah, so we still have time and everything. Well, Jeremy, we're going to lean on you maybe, buddy, a little bit early January, get back with you and test it. But folks, go to tnwildlife.org, and there's also, isn't there a CWD information page or something they can go to?
Yes, sir. You can go to CWD in Tennessee in your search bar, and you can find all the information, everything that we do related to CWD, from sampling locations to results lookup, and all kinds of information. And I'd encourage people to get on there and educate yourself and find out what all there is to know. Well,
I wrote a story, and I'm going to say quickly, in the Commercial Appeal last week. It didn't have my byline on it, but, folks, I wrote it, okay? It had somebody else's name on it that I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
But in that story, Hunters for the Hungry, there's people need these donations too, Jeremy. I'm telling that to you folks that want to help people who do not have what we have and in need of venison for the holidays. That's another good way, right, Jeremy? Get involved in that.
Absolutely.
All right, Jeremy Dennison, thank you, man. Great job. Keep those numbers going, okay? Happy holidays to you, buddy. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you next year, I hope, Lord willing. All right, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a great. Let's take a break. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.